Obsessive Compulsive. Hello, I suffer from obsessive compulsive disorder, which is an anxiety disorder in which people have unwanted, repeated thoughts, feelings, ideas, or behaviors. In other words, my life is a systematic pattern. But yesterday I experienced a flaw in my own system. I woke that morning in my lakeside home promptly at 6:45 a.m., as I do every morning before leaving my bedroom. I made sure to touch the doorknob 3 times. I have to. I need to. On my way downstairs, I made sure not to touch the second to last step. I never touch that step. I just can't. I made my usual breakfast of toast, scrambled eggs, and black coffee. I never eat anything else in the morning. Just always those 3. Turning my iPad on, I made sure to check the local news headlines like usual, but today, something was missing. I couldn't place my finger on it. Did I forget something? The strange feeling lingered with me all the way to my car. On my way out the front door, I made certain to lock the door, then unlock it again. Driving to work, I couldn't help but feel like part of me was missing. What did I miss? How could I possibly have missed it? Hoped that feeling would surpass while at work that day, but it didn't. It stayed with me for 12 whole hours. I left the office around 6:45 p.m. to head back home. About 25 minutes into my commute, I stopped at the red traffic light at the intersection of Mayberry and Westway, but the light was turned from red to green. I couldn't help but feel this strange sensation again, and the only other person near me was a man driving behind me. He blared his horn for me to get going, but instead of accelerating, I just unrolled my window and motioned for him to go around me. He did. I dreadfully sat in my car, still stopped at the intersection. Something was seriously wrong. What am I missing here? I made sure to touch everything in the car, hoping it would spark my memory. I touched the dashboard, the leather seats, the emergency brake, even the roof. It did nothing for me. My hands began to tremble as slowly I drove away. This isn't right. I don't like this. Arriving home, I pulled my '74 Mustang into the garage. I washed the car every weekday, never on the weekends. I only washed the front of the car, the back, never the sides, no matter how dirty they get. I never wash the sides. I simply can't. But something else seemed to be missing from my daily routine. As I washed, no, not again. First the news, then the intersection, now this. Finishing up with the car, I jogged out to the backyard. Only jog, never walk, never run. Opening the tool shed, I felt yet another thing missing from my pattern. I screamed, "This isn't right! This isn't right! This isn't right!" I stumbled out of the shed, gazed at the lake. It always seemed to calm me when my anxiety got out of control, but tonight all I wanted to do was sleep. I need to finish this day. Next morning I woke at 6:45 a.m., touched the doorknob 3 times, made sure not to step on the second to last step, and on the way to the kitchen I prepared my toast, scrambled eggs, and black coffee. I turned on the iPad and browsed the local news. It's still missing. I became agitated. What could possibly be missing? I began to feel nauseous. Hurrying out the door in vicious rage, I quickly locked the door, unlocked it, and locked it again. I drove off to work. I tend to get a lot of work done when I'm upset, strangely. So, at least I felt some accomplishment when I left the office at 6:45 p.m. I drove fast on my way home. Very fast. What am I missing? I approached the red light on Mayberry and Westway. Come on. Think. A man was walking in the middle of the intersection on his way to the other side. Why can't I remember? The man's head spun as he noticed my Mustang coming straight for him at 85 miles per hour. I noticed him too. A wave of horror crossed over my face as I watched him drive to the other side. I swerved into him, into the same direction with a loud clunk as it made as I crushed the man underneath my vehicle. Oh, God. Jumping out of my car, I hesitated on what to do. He lay there, writhing in agony, making horrendous guttural wails. I popped open the trunk to my Mustang, lifted the screaming man, and heaved him in. I drove. Upon entering my garage, I made sure to wash the blood off the front and the rear of the car. The sides were not necessary. After dragging his broken body out to the backyard, I jogged to the shed. Inside were black garbage bags, cinder blocks, and a hacksaw. After dismembering the man, I was able to fit both the remains and the cinder blocks into the bag. Dropping him to the lake was all that there was left to do. The following morning, I made sure to wake up at 6:45 a.m., touch the doorknob 3 times before skipping the second to last step. On my way to the kitchen, while I was eating my toast and scrambled eggs and black coffee, I browsed the local news on my iPad. The top headline: "Hit and run serial killer strikes again." I smiled. Back to normal.